I was a youth who was interrogated without understanding my rights. I wasn't given an attorney to explain the rights to me. And as a result of that, I waived them without understanding them, and it had a disastrous outcome. I never understood my rights. It ultimately culminated into my being coerced into a false confession and being wrongfully convicted of that at age 16, spending 16 years in prison prior to being exonerated through DNA testing. My youth was essentially robbed of me, all for a crime I didn't commit, which can all be traced back to that key point when I did not understand my rights. There is, in fact, a crisis of false confessions that have caused wrongful convictions, not just amongst adults, but particularly vulnerable population of youth. This is primarily happening to people without resources, i.e. the poor, and of the poor, there's a disproportionate impact on minorities. Youth are particularly inequipped to deal with law enforcement. We simply don't understand our rights. We have to have them explained to us. And when you have the combination of a youth who doesn't understand their rights, combining that with a police officer who is looking to get a confession to solve a case, that's simply a recipe for disaster. The police were pretending to need my help to solve the crime rather than being clear with me that I was a suspect. Of course, while that's coercive in general, that's particularly coercive when it comes to youth. I don't think that would have happened had I been an adult, and certainly not if the Youth Interrogation Act had been enacted into law. The way the Youth Interrogation Act would work to protect minors is that it would give 16 to 17-year-olds and those younger, it would give them a non-waivable right to counsel. Attorneys are fundamental in solving this problem. It's objective, knowledgeable legal advice to explain to youth what their rights are, what it means to waive them. Passing the Youth Interrogation Act would mean that the suffering that I experienced as a result of my wrongful imprisonment, that at least it would count for something, and I would have the satisfaction of knowing that no other youth will be wrongfully convicted in the same way that I was. I ultimately lost 16 years of my life as a result of that, and I'm determined to prevent what happened to me from happening to other people, and the Youth Interrogation Act would go a long way towards preventing that.